keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing, yeah. Little lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Little lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need. It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
Hello everybody and welcome to Waylander Gaming. This is Waylander here with Lotus as we bring you it's getting towards the conclusion of the Hunter tournament, Madagascar's own. First of two semi-finals, sadly not for tonight. The semi-finals will be taking place across today and tomorrow, and as Lotus was informing me, because Lotus loves to gossip, she was telling me that we have the battle of the frenemies in this first semi-final, where former members of a squad are versing former members of another squad, just to add a little bit of spice. And you can hear Lotus laughing because she knows she's guilty. It is the laugh of guilt. Lotus, how are you doing?
Pretty well, especially after gossiping so much. But looking at the bands coming out, lobby bands like will notify the viewers were Sicilian, Lunox, Alice, and Minotaur.
A lot of sustained bands coming out there.
Definitely, and Sicilian is a bit of an interesting ban. I don't know if you saw, but he also got a buff. His earlier game is a bit stronger now as well, so that definitely makes him a bit more viable in matches these days.
Well, that one is a very specific ban. That's a respect ban for Shiro. Shiro is very well known for his Sicilian in the Madagascar scene, and well, being up against his former teammates, they would know that, so that was a definite respect ban.
Well, it's nice seeing you making use of the gossip.
Well.
Export getting picked up. Export and Carmela makes quite a nice combo, but I love the CC pick.
CC is a flex pick, so we're not sure just yet whether it's going to be CC Gold or CC on the XP lane. Right? That Camilla and Export combo, old but gold as we say. It's been around for quite a while. It's definitely one that works well against the healer compositions, especially once Camilla lands Curse Blood onto a couple of people. But the Angela pick coming out a little bit early, I would say, combines nicely with the CC, but we're going to have to look at a couple more picks coming in that can combine with the Angela. Hayabusa is definitely not one of them. But with Ray Teasy deciding to go for that ultimate counter, the Shield Eater herself, Esmeralda.
So what you were saying earlier about Carmela going against compositions with healers, don't you think it was a bit of a bad idea picking up an Angela after you saw the Carmilla getting picked up?
In most healers, I would say, like for instance, your Estises, your Florins, those kinds of healers, they require everyone to be fairly close by. Angela as well, but Angela is mainly there for that hard gut ability of hers. So she's not going to be, everyone's not really going to be stacked up. What we're expecting from the draft so far is you expect CC to be rotating and engaging. So CC's in this, if you're picking up at Angela, I don't think CC is going to be gold. It's probably going to be an XP CC. So you expect it to go in and try and bait out a lot of skills, force out some flickers, etc., with the heart guard on top, and then you know that that's the purpose. And then so Camilla is not going to really ulti just CC alone. That'll be kind of a pointless use of the ultimate. So in this case, you know, Angela is not such a bad pick.
True. And Zilan gonna go for the. Also making sure they seem to be going for a set composition for the side of Gascom eSports. Carmella with the Curse of Blood, and then Ling going in with the Tempest of Blades. So I think that works pretty well for them.
Yeah. Tempest of Blades actually combines very nicely with Curse of Blood. I tested it out myself. Well, being the person who introduced Camilla into our meta, everybody's using it now, right? They must remember. Back then, I was spamming it in rank with my squad when I used to play at that stage, and then it became super popular in our country or in our region afterwards because of the way her ultimate works. It melts teams, but obviously with it being introduced that many years ago and it being used for so long, it's gotten to a point where people know how to deal with a Camilla ultimate now. Back then, no one used to know what to do.
True, but what I find interesting from the side of Gascom is the fact that they picked up a Eudora. I think that's mostly to be able to deal with either the Curry, the Angela, or the Hayabusa.
It's just a hard counter to Hayabusa. So the moment he goes in with his quad shadows, Shiro's going to be saving that second skill just to land the stun. That's where it's going to come from. Interesting though, we're going to see the Angela in the mid with Basha and a nice battle going on here in the beginning. Though the heals coming out from Angela is going to provide that little bit of extra that they need. As you can see, this should be First Blood, and that's been First Blood secured here for the Sky Kings as they reign supreme in the mid lane.
And it's also going to be the Esmeralda here in the gold lane, and versus the Carry. Carry is pretty much known as the tank killer for when it comes to the marksman, but it does take her a while to get online, so the Esmeralda will be having a pretty decent game beforehand.
And I'm just watching CCARP, who actually knows the carry combo. It's not often I get to see people going in and using the carry combo properly. Nice poke damage here onto Broto by Hayabusa. I don't know if you know this player. He's been not featuring in tournaments for a while. Memphis. Have you ever seen him before, Lotus?
Well, I did see him the other night when I was casting for the matches, but I don't think I've seen him in any other tournaments before.
So, just a little bit of a backstory here. Memphis, Shiro, and a couple of others, other players in here. Oh, the nice shadow kill coming out there with the Tempest of Blade being used as a hard counter, but Memphis picks up the kill. There's Angela with the stunner to Boto, but who Boto manages to reposition. So these guys were part of a squad known as Prominence. They won the inaugural, the very first Conquerors of Dawn tournament, and at the time they were running wild. They were actually beating everybody. That year when they were around before they disbanded, they actually knocked out Equilibrium from the MSA Cup. They were just like absolutely destroying everybody, and Memphis was one of the main reasons for that, because he is one of the best junglers in our server. Haven't seen him in a while, so it's a pleasure to see him back again. And I'm quite interested to see how this battle's going to go up with him versus Xylan, because Xylan's a no slouch on these assassin jungles as well.
Definitely, especially when he picks up the Ling. I've seen his Ling games several times, and he's actually one of the best Lings that I have seen so far. and that is saying something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just looking at one of the comments here. It's like, yeah, Memphis wants to cook Xylan again. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing in terms of not who's going to win the battle, right? But in terms of interesting matchups that we have here. This was, I know you pointed it out, like, and I was teasing you about, gossiping, but it is part of the community that we have here. It's like, who was in whose squad, and the fact that they were together at one point in time and now they're separated is quite an interesting battle here between these two. But so far, the upper hand has been going to the side of Sky Kings. I mean, okay, here's Tempest of Blade coming out. Nice dance around here, but silent. But oh, there's the Cursed Blood landing on Chuchu. Hardguard is there just to keep CC alive. The turnaround with the poke. Memphis trying to basic attack. Quad Shadow comes out, and it's going to be Memphis on a killing spree already. So he's picked up 3 out of the 4 kills. Ling has to hightail it, and Diddy's back, apparently. Getting Hayabusa to get a blue buff steal.
And also with the Last Insanity getting popped out and being able to go for the kill and Typharago down, it seems like he's also going to get taken down. Yes, he does. Chases onto Bauta here, but he might be able to escape if they do not chase any further.
Yeah, they were a little bit too low to dive underneath the turret, considering that they did use quite a lot of the skills. Whoa, look at that. They actually instructed the carry to make the rotation. They knew the counter steal was coming through. Vasha using that high mobility to get across the map. But so far, Sky Kings. I mean, I know they stole the name, right? But they're living up to the title nonetheless.
Definitely. And I mean, it was actually now interesting when you said about carry going in for the rotation. They knew about the counter still. That's also what makes it more fun when the players know each other, they know what they're gonna do, and then they counter predict each other.
Yeah. Well, it's the moment you get Ling's blue buff stolen, and you know that they're not going to contest for the objective, then he's going to be doing these sorts of things to try to balance off the farm. Because when you're playing in the jungle role, it's really a question, at least at this stage in the game, it's a question of balancing farm. It's about trying to get as much of the jungle creeps away from the enemy jungler as possible. It's called a counter jungle for a reason. But once we've hit beyond this mark, so it's gone beyond the 5-minute mark, then things change simply because they are, now a jungler can actually get gold from the lanes, golden XP, maximum golden XP. So the rotation style we'll start to notice will change a little bit. And now it's a question of rotation speed to get across the map to deal with your lane management. And having an Angela on your side at this moment in time is going to make things very nice. I mean, if you think about it right now, the Eudora hasn't really had the opportunity to rotate. This could be one of her first rotations across the map.
I think you're right. She's been consistently stuck under her mid lane turrets, and like you said, couldn't really move anywhere. And Basha giving so much map presence to the side of Sky Kings makes things a bit more difficult because everyone in Gascom eSports has no mobility except for the Ling, really, and the Carmela.
Yeah, but for the side of like Gascom eSports, they need to slow the game down for the express purpose of allowing Ling to come online. Because the moment you head towards, once it hits like 12 minutes plus, then you're going to really see the power of the Ling come to the forefront. Not so much in terms of damage, but his ability to control the game. Because he has that insane mobility. There is no hero like Ling in the entire match, in the entire of Mobile Legends. He can actually get lanes pushed and control objectives like it's nobody's business. But we should expect to see another invade come through right now, because once you get your buff invaded the first time, you know it's going to be there. There's a Cursed Blood landing, the last Insanity with a follow-up, but the hard cut, and Angela keeping everybody alive. Tempest of Blaze is there to knock up, but look at the Revitalize there. Full combination coming out from Ling, but he just doesn't have the damage to get through all of that healing capabilities from the side of us, the Sky Kings, and they melt the entire, well, most of the players from Sky Kings down quite quickly. Those Island was quite quick on with the fingers there, managed to retry his blue buff.
Sure. The thing is, you said earlier that Team Esports needs to slow the game down. It's actually really difficult for them to do that. So, what do you suggest think they should do right now to make it a little bit easier for them?
Well, what? Alt coming out there from Memphis. Beautiful shadow kill. Basically, you're gonna have to ignore a lot of the jungle farm. Like you know for a fact they're gonna come for the blue buff, and I know Ling needs the blue buff, but it's not worth dying or having your teammates die just for a blue buff. So all you need to do is at this moment in time, wait for Sky Kings to put pressure to try to invade the jungle. The moment they invade the jungle, use the degree of mobility that you do have on your side to push a lane. You push a lane and push a lane on the on sort of like opposite ends, so almost like a seesaw to keep them a bit unbalanced.
And they will constantly have to move to defend those lanes so that you basically split them up.
Yes, yes, yes. And then it helps. Oh, nice ulti coming out here. The last insanity, but look at the heals from Angela. Oh, however, the Curse Blood does smash the edge onto 4 people. The Tempest of Blade being used, but this time around a little bit defensively. Island trying to escape, but nothing doing SB into the mix here. But it's a 2-for-1 exchange going in favor of Sky Kings. Well, the first kill on the board finally for the side of Gascom eSports, but this leaves us with an uncontested Lord that'll go their way. And happy Thanksgiving to you as well, all the way from Florida, USA.
Well, that was actually a very random statement, but happy Thanksgiving.
It's to the live chat. See, some of us read the live chat. We don't just gossip. You know, we read the live chat and then gossip.
But where's the fun in that?
Reading the live chat, well, we are on live stream, so you know. Lord being allowed to push freely through the mid lane. Lane's not really being synced up here by Sky Kings. As the Lord charges in here. Basha into the backline. The Holy Shield is still in the mix. They want to try to get this pop, but there's a last insanity coming out. It's Shadow Kill into the backline. The Curse of Blood now lands, trying to get the counter to engage on, but the damage being dished out by Carry. Now the Holy Shield gets popped, forcing the wave away. But with all of this being done, tier 3 turrets are still standing. So Gascom eSports might be happy with that so far.
Definitely, because they don't have to trade any lives for the defense either, so it also helps them to just keep the defense up for a lot longer. There was such a beautiful set going in for the Carmilla. Unfortunately, she waited just a little bit too long to be able to throw out the Curse of Blood.
Yeah. Well, the timing there, you could say, was just a little bit unbalanced, because you need to get that Curse Blood landed with the last insanity. The last insanity was cast a little bit earlier, but sometimes, you know, it's a question of cooldown. Maybe you don't have it exactly at the same time because you used it a little bit earlier. However, I suppose maybe in that moment things were a little bit rushed.
Well, they were definitely trying their best to just keep the game going on a little bit longer. Like you said, once Ling gets to 12 minutes, it makes the game a little bit more easy for him with mobility. And as long as the side of Gascom eSports can stall the game, they have more time to change the game.
Yeah, but there's a huge fight happening here in the jungle. Once more, the last insanity comes up. This time, the Curse Blood is in there as they manage to blow up one. However, Carry with the light wheels is dishing out the damage. Oh my goodness, look at her melt through the team. They're chasing down. It's going to be 3-for-1 exchange. Eudora manages to dash back to safety. That flicker coming in clutch. But my word, Carry is fed.
You can say that again. She already has the entire Trinity under her belt. And now with it being so late in the game, she can start popping off and kill the majority of them. Ult going onto Hayabusa, but not managing to kill him just.
Yeah, she'll be looking to pick up that... Oh, there's the ulti coming out from... Xborg once more, forcing everybody back, but the hard cut just in time. However, SB manages to take down the Camilla. There's Curse Blood now lands, but then there's no real follow-up into the mix here. Esmeralda, she goes in, does get the shutdown kill, does get the double, but forces everybody back. And so with that, I think the side of Gascom eSports have just bought themselves a little bit of a lifeline. Because otherwise it was going to be Lord and potential end to the game.
True, and with the minions pushing there at the bottom, the team once again has split up, and CC in a bit of danger right now, has some ability to escape, but okay, yes, she is going to be able to escape. But like you said, they just bought themselves a lot more time, and triple kill going to the Esmeralda, definitely working in their favor.
Yeah. With that mid lane turret being taken, though, that's going to be a little bit of a game changer. Or not a game changer, but an advantage that's going the way of Sky Kings as things stand. Though, other than that, the map is relatively even.
Yes, actually, it is pretty relatively even. It's very difficult because the side of Gascom eSports are consistently stuck the entire time, but engagement from winning here onto Scar managing to bait out the hard guard, but the engagement once again going on here in the top lane. We do see the last insanity getting popped, Wintercrown coming onto the box here. Esmeralda managed to jump out as well, but Slay almost gonna get taken down. Lightning going onto the... Oh my goodness, Stofferson moments coming onto me.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure being placed in, but Linky comes into the backline here. He's trying to get close to that Angela. Doesn't have the tables of play, but Angela disappears. Some Houdini action there. She hits the hot gut just in time. I was watching Link. He's like, there she is. Finally, I'm gonna get her. There's the ability to lock onto the base right now. Shiro trying to defend. Angela keeping everybody alive. It's Esme taken down here. Nobody's interested in the Lord. They just melt down the turret. First blood going the way of the Sky King.
Victory!
And right now in this best of 3, Sky Kings managing to get the 1-up onto Gascom eSports. So next match could be match point for the side of Sky Kings.
Could be, and with the way they've played in the tournament up until this stage, very, very, very high potential. This is a very strong team. It's one of the teams that were, from the get-go, a favorite to win the competition as a whole, and they've laid down a marker here against another very strong team within Gascom eSports. But we're going to head off into the second match right now. I'm sure the lobby has been created. There we go. Just got to get ourselves into said lobby, and then we'll see who's going to be taking this. Are we going to go to a third game like we did yesterday, or is it going to be done and dusted all in this next match? All to play for. Coming up on Waylander Gaming.
Just to make sure the losers of these matches, do they go to the lower bracket or do they go out of the tournament?
Now this is straight elimination. This is going to be a very similar setup to the next tournament that'll be running through our way, which is the Iron Gauntlet, of which once that the information was released, I think almost half the teams there from Madagascar in the Iron Gauntlet, looking at the registration forms. So it's going to be a very hotly contested but the tournament layout is very much like this. It's straight out eliminations, which personally, me coming from a sports background, it's how we used to play tournaments back then. When I used to play semi-professional football, it's just knockout. Like, you get into, there's no upper bracket, lower bracket. It's all do or die. You either win or lose on that moment in time.
On the one side, it has a lot of pressure. On the love movie to watch.
Yeah. That's true. Dejima, the answer to your question was Alice and Sicilian were the lobby bands that came out for the Sky Kings in game number 1. But we're going to take note of what notice, or rather inform us of what the lobby bands are for this game number 2.
So it's going to be Joy, Alice, Sicilian, and Lunox once again.
Yeah, so same bands as it was in the first game.
Except the Minotaur was switched off for the Joy this time.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yes, Minotaur was in the mix as well. Yeah, Alice right now is like a must-pick, must-ban hero. Been causing a lot of chaos.
She's pretty decent. The only problem is when she is used as a jungler. Keeps getting invaded by a little bit of stronger jungler, especially fighters. then that makes things very difficult for her.
Let's hear from the crowd.
Well, that's with most jungles or junglers, right? Understanding your jungle matchups and actually dictates how you rotate. So sometimes you can't rotate towards the same side of the map. Sometimes you have to change your rotation strategy and rotate to the opposite end simply because you don't have a favorable jungle matchup. And you know that the jungle invades are gonna happen. And that just gives the team the opportunity to snowball against you. And so, jungle rotation is a very important thing.
True, and that's actually why it's so important to know your junglers. So information is a very big thing when it comes to Mobile Legends, but also adaptation.
MOBAs as a whole, whether it's Mobile Legends, League of Legends, Dota 2, they're like 10% micro and 90% macro. These games are built for knowledge, understanding. For instance, right, with an Angela, you know that Angela's power spike occurs at 4.5 to 5 minutes. That's when she picks up Flask of Oasis. It'll be in that time frame. So preparing for the second turtle is then vitally important. Yeah. So it's all that little bit of extra knowledge helps you understand what it is you're supposed to do. So because there's an Angela and there's an Angela mid lane, what you'd like to do in a situation like that is place a lot of pressure there in the mid lane before that 4-minute mark, just to delay her picking up the Flask of Oasis, and at least get her low enough to force her back so that you can have a better time contesting for that objective, simply because you know Flask is coming in that time frame.
That is true. Teddy's back. Gonna be picking up the Hayabusa this time. Blitz are gonna go with it.
Yeah, so since
Samus has
Hayabusa...
been pretty
Yeah. Yeah, so since Hayabusa worked so well in the first game, they're continuing with this. It's going to be difficult to now and try and pick your backliners because Hayabusa is so good at dealing with it. But Blitzo with that Thamos pick, I'm loving the Thamos pick. He works so well against the healing compositions, especially one like with a Minotaur in the mix. He does do very well up against a Minnow. I'm strongly suspecting now that we're going to see an Angela again.
From Sky King's side.
Yeah, from Sky Kings.
Definitely possible, and Angela with the Thamus works brilliantly. And Thamus, almost on his own a lot of times, as long as he has Oracle and he's sometimes unkillable, but Miller getting picked up.
Okay, still leaves the opportunity to pick up Angela mid. Shiro locking onto that the Kimmy, just to provide that bit of poke to counter the Thamos, consistent damage. But you're going to need a little bit of lockdown, which they have with the Avatar of Guardian and the Minoan Fury. This is going to be an interesting one. Nice ban. Very nice ban. That Angela was going to be devastating if they picked it up in the mid lane. Not normally so, but in this particular composition, definitely.
Yes, so some good prediction coming out here. Scar?
Let's play together.
Chunga works pretty well. I'm not a big fan of the Chunga Carmella combo, but it does work for some people.
Yeah. There would have been a couple of options that would have worked out a little bit better. I would agree with you. Vexana. Yeah, Vexana. Zetchian would have been another one. She would have been devastating up against the Gato and the Minnow. Definitely that one. I agree with you. But Changi does have a place.
Yes, the Vexana would have actually struggled because of the Ling. So if Ling jumps onto her, she can't really move because she has little to no mobility.
Yeah, but this is where your flickers and the other spells come into play. Changi does have some mobility to try to get out from there, but I think they wanted to just outrange the Kimmy once it hits that level 4 timing, so just beyond the 2-minute mark when Changi gets that level 4. Then you know she's gonna outrange Kimmy and will allow for decent wave clear, and especially with her in the mix, it's very hard to push a lane.
True, and the Ling will definitely have to continuously keep an eye on that blue buff. just in case Changa is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, yeah. Interestingly enough, now that she has picked up a flame shot to go with it. Flame shot is arguably the weakest spell in the game, but let's get to see how this is going to turn out.
All troops deployed.
Say the weakest spell is rather execution. Flame Shot still has some defensive capabilities and you can snipe someone. Execute is a bit there.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen anybody pick up execute in the tournament scene. But nice poke damage coming out here already onto the Minotaur by the Camilla. Just forcing him back. Went for the stun, so doesn't have the heals. It's just eating up the damage. Look at the just like the first game, but nice stun coming through. Managing to get out to 2. Hayabusa with the poke, and once again, Scar picking up first blood. Just like the start of the first game, Sky Kings are winning the battle in the mid lane, but oh my goodness, there's going to be CCARP on that 1-1, managing to take out the Clint this early on. Things are looking a bit dodgy for the side of Gascom eSports.
Definitely, and with Thamus also almost getting Slay taken down, it's a bit difficult. Gascom Esports gonna go in with the assistance right now, but getting stunned up, it seems like he might be taken down. Throws out the Vengeance just to be able to escape.
Yeah. That dash came in handy. You know, I actually don't know the name of that arrow. It has the name. Whatever that name is.
Sometimes called the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah. We'll give it its own name. Name.
And with Turtle up, the advantage is also to the side of Sky Kings, especially with having almost 1k gold lead.
1k gold lead at this stage in the game. Turtle is up, as you said. Once again, we will see both teams just trying to get themselves into position. Ling starting it off a bit early, though there's Memphis here who wants to try to get into position. Blitzo on that Thamos into the mix here. Ling onto the wall. There's the Avatar of Guardian who's going to land, and Memphis gets it. However, it's going to be Gato trapped up in here. Gets eaten up by the Thamos. Nice zoning away from the Camilla as it's another quick kill going the way of the Sky Kings. They're starting this game off just like they did the last one in a very, very dominant fashion.
And with this dominance coming out from Sky Kings, it's a bit difficult because there's some late game skillers for the side of Gascom Esports. So once again, they're going to have to stall the game, make it slow down. Curse of Blood also coming into the mix with Tempest of Blades, just used defensively right now.
Yeah, blue buff stolen from away by the Changi there and Scar. So all the cards in the favor of Sky Kings at this present moment in time. How are Gascom Esports going to respond? They've got to wait for their timing as well. With a Minotaur, he's not going to be rushing Flask. That's for certain. You can't be rushing the Flask if you in this particular matchup. So it's going to be a little bit later by the time he gets that item. But once that comes online for the Minotaur, then you can have a potential game-changing moment for the side of Gascom Esports. They just have to try to minimize the damage up until this moment in time.
And for a Minotaur, you usually say to rush I think you call it the Dreadnought armor.
Yeah. Though here I would be thinking of going for either Athena's shield. Oh, there's Tempest of Blades coming out defensively, but the damage output is in there. Cursed Blood lands on Turtu. The follow-up as they manage to disengage. Lots of skills coming out, but with this particular engagement, Gascom Esports would be happy not having lost anybody, and they know it's just a patience game for them right now. They've got to make sure that they can keep their farm more or less close, sacrifice a little bit of the early game pressure, maybe not go and contest for objectives, just like it is now. They're not contesting for this turtle, because once the Minotaur gets his at least third item online, then the game changes in their favor.
Until then, like you said, they're gonna have to be patient right now. And Diddy continuously going in, just keeping vision onto them, controlling them and zoning them out, working in the favor of Sky Kings.
Yeah, there's the damage coming out here onto the Minotaur. He gets eaten up. Avatar of Guardian, however, does manage to land, but do they have the damage to follow up? It's not just yet, as it's going to be 2 taken down. And this jungle invade, non-stop pressure being placed here by the side of Sky Kings. They're just not letting up.
Seems like they also want to commit to taking this mid tower right now, especially with the Carmilla going and just defending the Hayabusa. Got it pretty low. If the jungle was there, they could have taken it down, but unfortunately she didn't have mana.
Yeah, they're not giving Xylan an opportunity to breathe as well in the jungle. Every buff being contested. The map has now opened up. The best thing for Gascom eSports is now to spread out into a 4-1 split. You gotta let Lynx push the side lanes and, well, at least help him take his blue buff. That will give him the best opportunity to push the side lanes. And then the rest of the team sticks together in as a 4-man. That might be the safest for them at this moment in time.
It's like they're trying to go a bit for the idea right now. They just want to defend the lanes as much as possible, but engagement here onto the jungle right now, it seems like she might be able to escape as she throws out that second skill.
Yeah, once more, it's just Scar just stealing the blue buff. Oh, the flame shot, yeah. They're just slightly off the mark. It was zoning in like an arrow. There's gonna be the shadow kill. Oh my goodness, almost taking out Ling there. He managed to get back to the safety. There's an engagement here underneath this tier 2 turret. Changa just zoning everybody away, hitting that meteor shower of hers. Just doing so much damage. Pressure being placed. Curse Blood does land onto one. Oh, but the Minotaur hits the Minoan Fury, knocking up everybody. The follow-up is in here, but it's gonna be a 1-for-1 exchange. But this time around, the damage is here. This is the damage out of Tamos. He's eating everybody up. The Avatar of Guardian does come out, but it's just not enough. As it's a 3-for, they'll make that 4-for-3 exchange. They were winning that fight. They just needed that little bit of extra damage, and they could have turned it around, Gascom eSports. But Sky Kings would feel the better of it, having picked up that extra kill.
Definitely so, and with Vikings once again just taking down turrets, making sure the goal goes in their favor as well as map presence. A little bit difficult for the side of Gascom eSports, but I feel like they're playing better than the previous match. Making sure to get some even trades in as best as they can.
Yes. Right now, like I said, it's going to be a lot of pressure placed onto them. The early start from the side of Sky Kings, just too much. Oh, Minoan Fury manages to get the knock up onto 3, but then we see the follow-up. Camilla somehow survives all of this. Avatar of Guardian was into the backline. They do manage to take down one, but there's going to be the 1-1 crossbow tag comes out, and it's a killing spree for 1-1. And so 1-1 is slowly but surely getting fed. I mean, already 3 items completed, heading towards the 4th.
And this is something that the Clint also doesn't want to deal with right now. I mean, it's just past the 8-minute mark, 10-4 in the favor of Sky Kings, and they also have around a 7k gold lead, but we do see Ling pushing here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, well, this is what you need right now. You gotta head into that 4-1 split. That's the only way you're gonna get an opportunity to take this into a third game. You gotta get that split push going. Stick to the 4-1. Prioritize farm to both the Ling and the Clint. And that could cause the game to change, but there's gonna be Slay spotted out here. However, Minotaur goes in, knocks up the counter engages on there. The stuns are coming up, but there's just no damage in here just yet. Clint now finally arriving. This is the double MM strategy, and well, there's some dangers to that. The shadow kill into the backline, but somehow Kimmy survives. But the tier 2 turrets have all been eaten up. Ling just trying to alleviate the pressure by placing a nice push on the top lane. But it's so difficult right now for the side of Gascom eSports. They're going to have to not engage. And definitely not contest for this first Lord.
Sure, right now they need to defend, and as we just saw with this engagement, if they had a little bit, with the counter engagement, if they had a little bit more damage, they would have been able to deal with the Sky King. So they just have to wait it out, get the farm they need, get the items and the damage they need, and then they can start to cook.
Yeah. Like I do agree with the comment on the live stream. Minotaur is playing quite well. It's all a patience game now, right now. So if you just take a look at Minotaur's items, he's got dominance built, he's got flask built, which means he just needs Oracle to give him that little bit of extra survivability with the heals, and they can start contesting for objectives after this moment in time. But really speaking now, you're going to need Ling to use that lightness skill of his, maybe just force everybody to bait out certain skills, and then go for some lane cuts. You need to get that lanes unevenly pushed. You don't want to lose any of your tier 3 turrets at this moment in time. If you can keep yourself in the game through this particular lord, this particular push, then around the, say, 13-minute mark or so, we'll see the game start to change a little bit.
So right now, all they have to do is put the defense on, make sure not to sacrifice too much of themselves. And like you said, they can definitely make a comeback from this. It's just going to be all about discipline. Making sure not to overextend anyone before the fight.
Yes. Well, Lucky, nice to have you, and welcome to the live stream once again. Lord pushing in here. There's no holy shield to protect. Gonna charge through. It's a question of can they get this defended, though once again the lanes not being evenly synced up, so that's a little bit of a problem here for the Sky Kings. Lord being melted down here. There's going to be Avatar of Guardian, but doesn't manage to catch up to anybody. As I think we should see the mid lane turret fall. It has fallen, but I don't see much more than this happening. Maybe the top lane turret as well. Hayabusa trying to find that angle into the backline, but nothing doing. I think they should have the ability to defend this unless something... Oh, there's the Curse Blood landing onto 2. That was the something that could have possibly happened. It's going to be 2 players being melted down. Shadow kill into the fountain. The lock is on here. They're going for the melt. The wave clear just in time. Ling manages to get a kill into the backline, but he's going to be taken down himself. Kimmy trying to protect, but Changi just basic attacked that. Base to death, and that is going to be 2 for nothing. Clean sweep going the way of Sky Kings.
But definitely GG's to Gascom eSports, because they did put up a pretty good fight during this match. Way better than the previous one.
Yeah, they did. But Sky Kings overall proving to be a little bit too strong for the side of Gascom eSports. So we're sadly going to have to say goodbye to them until we see them on the next tournament, which is happening in the 8th of December.
So definitely can't wait to see them again. Redemption matches.
Yeah. Maybe these 2 teams will get to face one another once more. So, well played to Sky Kings. They've booked their place in the grand finals. We'll be seeing them once again on Sunday. Follow-up matches will be the second semi-final taking place tomorrow night, the third place playoff on Saturday, and the grand finals to see who takes the crown in the Hunter tournament will be live here all on Waylander Gaming on Saturday. So a big shout out to the organizers of the Hunter tournament. This was one of the very, very well structured tournaments. Everything ran like clockwork, teams on time, everything was sorted out. I highly enjoyed working and streaming the tournament up until this moment in time, and I'm going to be quite excited to see the conclusion on Sunday.
Okay, so everything ends this Sunday. It's actually a pretty decent long tournament.
Yeah, that it was. But thank you everybody for tuning in to watch. It's a pleasure as always to cast for you guys and bring you more and more Mobile Legends action. But for myself, Waylander, and Lotus, the Waylander Gaming team, or the casting crew for the evening, we're gonna have to say goodbye and good night. Don't forget to smash that like, share, and subscribe buttons. We will catch you all on the next stream.